Sup everyone, it's Demolition Derby for Life. I'm here gonna do a new video. If you were in my last stream, I was talking about doing RC derbies. Well, that I had a couple setups. I'm gonna show you my setups, what I've built and what I've done to get them to where they are. I'm not an expert on RC derbies. I just started doing it this year. I've been doing it more. I've been competing more. Last year I did it once or twice. No, once. Once last year. And the reason why I only did it once last year is I didn't have the right battery set up, and there were some other things that I needed to set up in order to compete well. And now that I've saved up enough money, I bought some bought the right parts that I needed and some other accessories that I really wanted to get. So I'm going to show you my setups. I recently bought some more and I have them all set up the same. I plan on buying one more within the next month that's a completely different setup to what I have now, and I'm just going to see the differences and see if there's any changes I want to do to these setups I have currently. But here you go, guys. Hopefully it's not too bad to what I had before. So right now I have 1, 2, 3 setups. They are completely built, completely to my rules in my state, and I live in Minnesota. So if you guys are interested in it, follow MN Derby RC, something like that, on Facebook. They are doing a point series right now, and I actually have videos of that first point series. I have to post them yet. I have not. I'm gonna do an aftermath. Well, I'll do the aftermath of the body that I took for the first point series. And then I also did another one, which I only got a couple videos of it. It was just a fun run. It was in December, or not December, August, September, October, November, December. It was in November, late November, that I did it. And then they did another one in December, and this is the one I brought to in November. I actually cut this one apart. It was junk. It wasn't going to be able to run in another derby, so I pulled the cage that was in it out, and I pulled some other stuff, like I took the bumper off and some other stuff, and I mean, it was a shark car. I do have some pictures of it. I'll try to add in onto this video, and this was just a quick, easy build, super easy. I mean, it didn't do all that great, but it held up decent. I'll have to try to post some pictures of it. But yeah, that was the first one I ran this year. It had a heat, a con-seat, and then a feature run, and this was after the feature run basically, and it wasn't really moved all that much. I got pushed out real quick in the feature, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, and then so I cut this one apart and I added the cage into this one, which I'll show you the setup of what I have. Here is the other one, but I'll do an aftermath on the bodies more in another video, but I'm going to focus on this video more on the setup. So as you can see, I have screw on caps. The stock ones are pins. You don't want to use those. They don't work worth a damn. These pin ones work so much better. It's harder for the body to get ripped off. So how my rules are is you're allowed the 2 here and the 2 there for holding the body down, and then you're allowed a strap from the front to the bumper, to the front of the bumper, to keep the front end down. So that's technically 5 spots. And then depending on the rules, you're allowed like 2 rivets into the bumper and then 3 rivets onto the front. But I use you're allowed self tappers, and that's what I use. But this is my my chassis setup. One Goose Garage does a very good video on how to set up your body or your chassis and body stuff. Very easy, very simple. I run all stock. That is my choice. I like the stock setup just because that's what it comes with, and that's what it's easy. You can get a lowering kit. It's like a lowered chassis. I can't remember what it's called, but it lowers the center of gravity for the battery and stuff, and it makes it harder to tip over. This gets tipped over fairly easy, but I've also done very well with these. So, I mean, it's kind of 50-50, give or take. So, we'll start from the front and work our way back. For my bumper, I use the Raptor / bumper or something like that, and this does not come factory with it. It's a custom part that you have to order. I think it's like $15 or not quite that. It's like $10 a piece or something like that. And what I do, I have them for all my setups. I have all 3 set up like this, the same exact way. I run the stock suspension. I run it I run it stiff in the front, so, and you can see it flexes and stuff, but it bounces right back up. I like setting the front up high, which, I mean, it works. I run stock shocks. Nothing fancy. They're cheap, easy to replace, and so on and so forth. Coming in here, this is also an aftermarket part for the towers. You can order them offline. I can't remember exactly what they are, but they come with these, or for the caps to screw on. They're fine, but you do want to get longer ones. Definitely want to get longer ones for the front. I've ran them in the back, and I have not had them pop out on one of my setups, so I was kind of gonna test the waters, see if this was just a fluke or what, and I'll leave them short in the back. But definitely for the front, you want to make them long. It just makes it better. And when I say when you want to make them long, we'll go on this one since it's easier to grab. Take off the body, but I think the part for these towers for this part here, I think that was like, it was like a little under $20, something like that. Maybe it was even cheaper. It was maybe even under 10. I can't remember exactly, but I definitely do recommend getting that. It helps keep the body on. I mean, that's the only way to do it, is just so you don't have any issues. But when I say you want to get longer ones, focus. You see how long that is there? That sticks out maybe a 1/4 inch or so. And then you see this one here. It only sticks out maybe not even, or this one sticks out a 1/4 inch. The other one sticks out about 1/2 inch. That 1/2 inch helps so much, or that extra 1/4 inch helps so much to keep your body on. It's got more flex, more holding space too, because these are only about, I don't know, they're about like that long, and the longer ones are about like that long, give or take. And that helps so much to keep that body in, and it goes deeper inside the shock tower, or the body mount holder, or whatever you want to call it, and it just helps that much. I bought it off of a guy that actually runs the the point series that I've been doing. He sold 4 of them to me for $1. They're probably cheaper online, but I mean, I only needed a couple, which I'm probably gonna buy a couple more off of them just because I want to make sure I can still test. Like, I'll put all 4 long ones on, and if I start having issues with the back one starting to pop out, then I can just switch them over all to just 4 long ones and be done with it. But if the back ones are going to hold, because I think there's less force, because you're hitting less with the back and you're not having more momentum with the back too, backing up. When you're going forwards, you have more momentum, and I think when the force hits, then it forces everything to pop, and that's what pulls these out. So I do recommend going with longer ones. It helps a lot. Everything else is stock. I run stock steering motor. I run the stock, whatever you want to call this. What is it? This isn't the correct one. It's actually the smaller one. The other one is this is a 2.5. The one that you should be using is a 5. I'm testing this out to see if the smaller one will work. If it doesn't work, then I'll end up switching it out to something else, or probably to the 5. Stock everything. All the stock components that are the heart and stuff. I run the stock motor. I can't remember exactly what size it is. It's like a 12T, I think it is. That is something I run. It's cheap. It's like $25 to replace it if you burn it up. So I'm just gonna keep running the stock ones since it's so cheap. The back pillar that comes, these two come together, so you don't have to worry about that. Something I also do. A lot of guys run back bumpers. The reason why I don't run a back bumper is because I like seeing the back end come in and get crushed. But with doing that, you don't have protection here. So what you can do is go online and you can buy these. These are motor protectors, component protectors in the back. I do recommend buying these because I had that set up here and I didn't have one. The whole back end came in and up over the top, and my motor was open along with all the wires. So if I would have been unlucky and someone come in, hit the motor, break something, that's just parts I have to fix. So these on the end here, these are motor protectors. They're $6 a pop, and realistically, this $6 part, or each of them are $6, or for both of them is 12 something, and you gotta pay for shipping and stuff like that, which it comes out. I bought 4 of them, and I think it cost me like 20 some bucks, 28 I think it was, for all 4 plus shipping. So I figured that's not so bad, because they're $6 a piece by themselves, and realistically, you're gonna pay what they're worth. So oh well. But I do recommend getting these. These will help save your motor and all your components back here. I think it just helps a lot. Everything else is stock. This is my spare. This is my spare setup. This is not the one that I'm going to be using. The one I'm going to be using is this one. The reason why is it's green. I got my green components and stuff. My setups are very, what's the word? Like, my setup is very, it's all stock, but it's cheap. Or, it's mine. Like, I like green, so that's what I'm going to use. And then my girlfriend's setup is going to be this one, which, I bought these extra ones. I got a spare chassis and stuff sitting over there. I didn't want to set up for it just because I'm going to be buying one more, and it's totally different setup compared to these. So we're just going to test that one out, and if I don't like it, I'll switch it over to that one because it's got all the components that I need. but we'll get it figured out. But yeah, I got that set up over there, just in case. Plus it's a spare chassis if I end up breaking one of these, which I highly doubt will happen, but you never know. That way I got another spare setup. So I paid I paid for 3 of them. I paid $275 for 3 set. 2 of them were set up. One was basically no components or nothing. It just was a chassis, a roller chassis. It had a motor in it, but the motor's junk, I believe, or I can't use it. It came with a bunch of transmissions and some other stuff. So whatever. Something I also did, I took the transmission apart and I made it a posi. So when I say I made it a posi, both the tires spin at the same time. The reason how that happened is I took the transmission apart, I opened it up, I put super glue in it, super glued everything together, put it back together, and it worked. I can do a video on that if you would like to see how that's done. People that I've seen videos on, they said that you can use super glue, you can use some other stuff. Can't remember off the top of my head, but whatever. And I got some blue motor protectors. That's why this whole setup's blue. I thought that makes it look uniform, makes it look cool, I think. But that's my setup. And what I use for batteries is LiPo batteries. LiPo batteries are batteries that last longer, and they are more, they're a lot more expensive. I bought 2, I have 4 of these LiPo batteries. Let's see if I can pull them out. These LiPo batteries, they will last, these ones here will last about an hour, give or take. Probably about 45 to an hour. That's how long these LiPo batteries last. LiPo batteries are the way to go if you're going to do this in RC Derby. If you want to last the longest or whatever, you can go a higher grade. But I went with the 580 or 5800. They're not the best, like the highest battery for it. There's like a 7800 or something like that. There might be some higher ones, or 7500, and there might be some higher ones. I don't know for sure, but I went with the 5800. They're cheaper than the 7500. Don't quote me on the higher up batteries. They're about $20 cheaper. You get about the same life, maybe a little bit less than the higher one. And I mean, this is all that I think I really need. I mean, they're cheaper, they're easier to use. The only thing is they cost money. These are the batteries that come with the battery itself, or the factory when you first buy it. These they're not all that great. Yes, they are good for playing around with, but once you get into actual derby, you want to last as long as you can. These batteries will last you about 15 minutes, and it takes like an hour to charge them. They're not the way to go for actually competing. If you want to use it for fun, go ahead. But if you want to compete and have a longer time running, you definitely want to go with these. But there's a lot of, it's a dangerous thing to have. These things are very flammable. I was actually at one of the RC derbies, and one was brand spanking new, that the guy said. And he was charging it, and it caught fire, and it exploded, and it was just a big ball of fire. It was inside the building too. Luckily, there was no significant damage. The fire was taken care of right away. But these things are very, very dangerous to have. There's a lot of safety videos that you should check out before actually buying these, and definitely want to get parents' permission. Make sure your parents know. The reason why I have them inside the house, it's in a LiPo bag. LiPo bags are a must-have. That way, if one of these batteries would happen to explode or whatever would happen, it's inside the LiPo bag and will be safe from it spreading throughout the house. It's not a guarantee, I don't think. It could melt the bag, but it will like suffocate the fire fast enough that it should keep it away. No guarantees though. I know this is getting to be a long video, but I figured I want to show my setups. I want to show my bodies. I will go into another video on how to make the bodies and what I do to design my bodies. I'll go into another video on that. But right now, I just wanted to show my chassis setups. Very simple. This is a very simple setup. And the whole thing, I think I have, I don't even know, probably in the whole setup, maybe 150 to 250 bucks, somewhere in that range. They are, I mean, I bought these ones off of Facebook Marketplace. A kid was getting out of it, or one of the downsides, and that's the way I bought these for cheap. I mean, they're brand new. They're like 200 bucks a piece, like 100 or 180 a piece. But that's brand new, and it doesn't come with these setups, and that's more money you got to stick into it. So me, I mean, I have the money. I had enough money to get 3 setups. One I already had set up from last year, and then this year I did 2 more setups. I got lucky and found a couple for cheap, and I got a lot of parts and stuff, which I keep in that bag there, and I'll end up bringing them to each event. That way, if something goes wrong, I can switch out parts and whatever else. But there you go, guys. There's my RC setup. I will be doing another video on RC bodies. I will kind of go in, not in depth, but I'll kind of explain how to make these bodies. It's very simple, and yeah, but yeah, I'll go into it. Oh, one more thing, tires. The tires are, what scale are they? Let me see. I bought these, so it should say. The tires that I use are, the part number is 7672. I think they look cool. They're like, I think they're like 12 bucks for 4, something like that. They're not, I'm gonna test these out. I like the tread, I like the tires. They're very squishy. They run like, there's no foam or anything in them. Like these ones, they're stiff, like they're hard. But these ones, they're very, like you can hear that. But these are just stiff. Like there's foam and stuff inside of them. These were stock ones that I bought, or when I bought a small setup, these were the tires that came with. But these back ones are, I bought offline. I'm going to test these out. I like them. I like how they look. If they get burnt up, they're cheap to replace. I can't remember what scale they are. I think they're like 1/10 scale. Don't quote me on that. I think they're 1/10. Maybe it says on the bag. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that it was 1/10 scale. That's what I think they were. I know this video is getting very long. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Leave a comment down below on what you think of my setups. Is there anything you want to know about the setups? Let me know. But thank you guys for watching my videos. I appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button. And we'll catch you guys in the next one.